Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a huge question. How do massive tech companies stop their cloud environments from descending into total chaos? Well, the secret is they don't just build servers, they build entire digital cities. And we're about to look at the blueprint.
You see, for any big organization, the cloud isn't just a server somewhere. Nope. It's this sprawling, ever-growing universe of projects, teams, and resources. And if you don't have a solid plan from day one, it can turn into an absolute security nightmare, a total mess. So yeah, how do you actually control a universe that's constantly expanding? Well, the answer is actually pretty elegant. You have to think like a city planner. I mean, before you'd ever lay a single brick for a new city, you'd have a detailed blueprint, right? Same idea here. Before you spin up a single server or database, you need that solid blueprint for your whole digital city. And you need a master key system to control exactly who gets to go where.
Okay, so let's start with part one, the blueprints. This is all about that city planning mindset and how it creates a rock-solid foundation for everything else. So at the very, very top of everything, you have what's called the route management group. Just think of this as the official city limits. It's the single container that holds your entire digital world, and it's where you set the fundamental, non-negotiable laws that apply to absolutely everyone and everything inside. You gotta get this part right.
Okay, so you've got your city limits, but you wouldn't manage every single building in a city one by one, right? That would be insane. So instead, you create districts. In the cloud, these are called management groups. You might have one for finance, another for R&D. And this lets you apply the same rules and security policies to whole groups of projects all at once. It's all about managing things at scale.
And inside those districts, well, that's where you find the individual building lots. In the cloud world, we call these subscriptions. And here's the key thing. Every single resource you can imagine, a virtual machine, a database, a storage account, you name it, it has to live inside one of these subscriptions. This is super important because it acts as the boundary for both billing and security for that specific project. All right, our city has its zones and its lots, but what about the keys? How do we control who gets in and what they can do? That brings us to part two, the master key system. This is where a concept called role-based access control, or RBAC, becomes absolutely crucial. It's basically a fancy term for a very simple idea. Instead of giving everyone a key to the whole city, you give them specific keys for specific jobs. It makes sure that people can only do the things they've been explicitly allowed to do and nothing more. And all of this is guided by one of the most important ideas in all of cybersecurity, the principle of least privilege. It sounds technical, but it's dead simple. Give people the absolute minimum level of access they need to do their jobs, and not one bit more. It's powerful because it dramatically shrinks your risk. Fewer permissions means fewer chances for something to go wrong, whether it's by accident or on purpose. So let's move on to our third section. We're going to look at the actual keys themselves, the different types you can hand out, from that all-powerful master key all the way down to a simple visitor's pass. This table breaks it down really nicely. You've got three main roles to start with. First, there's the owner. This is the master key. They can do literally everything, and they can manage who else gets access. Then you have the contributor. Think of this as a builder's pass. They can create, modify, and delete resources, but they can't hand out new keys. And finally, you have the reader. That's your visitor's pass. They can look, but they can't touch anything. Now, what if none of those standard keys work for you? What if you need a key that lets someone restart a specific server, but only on weekends? Well, that's where custom roles come in. You can get super specific, defining exactly what someone can and cannot do, and even where they can do it. But, and this is a big but, you have to be careful. Custom roles add complexity, and complexity can sometimes be the enemy of security. So the best practice is always to try and use the built-in roles first. Okay, last section. This is where the magic really happens. We've got our city blueprint, we've got our keys. Now let's see how they work together through something called inheritance. This is the core concept right here. Permissions flow downhill. It's just like gravity. If you give someone a key at the very top level, the city district or management group, that key automatically works on everything below it. It works for the building lot or subscription. It works for what you can think of as the project site inside that lot. That's a resource group. And it works all the way down to the individual tool, which is the actual resource itself. It just cascades down. And that is what makes this entire system so incredibly powerful and efficient. You don't have to go and manually give someone permission for 1,000 different things. No way. You just assign the permission once at the highest level that makes sense, and it automatically applies to everything underneath. It's a huge time saver and it reduces human error. So you get this amazing flexibility. On one hand, you can give an administrator broad access way up at the subscription level, and they can manage everything in that project. Super efficient. On the other hand, you can go all the way down to a single resource and give a specific person access to just that one thing and nothing else. It gives you this perfect balance between easy management and super granular control. So when you boil it all down, why does any of this matter? Well, it's about 3 huge things. First, security. This whole structure is built to enforce that principle of least privilege we talked about. Second, cost control. By organizing things into subscriptions and groups, you can see exactly who is spending what. And third, scalability. This is how you manage thousands or even tens of thousands of resources without losing your mind. It's the framework that lets you grow safely. So in the end, that's what this is all about. Taking what could be complete digital chaos and turning it into a well-governed, organized city. And it kind of leaves you with a bigger question to think about, right? In a world that's increasingly built on code, who should be the ones writing the rules?